Hello, I'm Dr. Daniel Walker. For over 30 years, I've had the privilege of helping folks just like you navigate the journey of aging with health and vitality. Today, I want to talk about something that's on many of our minds as we get older: our legs. Specifically, the strength and stability that allow us to live the full, independent lives we deserve. But first, I have to ask a rather startling question. Could the glass of milk you're drinking every day, believing it's your best defense for strong bones, actually be giving you a false sense of security? It's a thought that might seem almost sacrilegious. For generations, we've been told that calcium is the king of bone health. We've diligently consumed our dairy, picturing our bones getting denser and more resilient with every sip. But what if I told you that for millions of Americans over 60, this single-minded focus on calcium is a critical and potentially dangerous oversimplification? This isn't a story to scare you, but to empower you with a truth that the healthcare community is understanding with more clarity every year. The real secret to keeping you on your feet, steady and strong, isn't just about the building blocks. It's about the master foreman that tells those blocks where to go and what to do. This common belief that calcium alone is the silver bullet for preventing fractures and maintaining leg strength is one of the most pervasive myths in senior healthcare. It's a comfortable, easy-to-digest piece of advice that, unfortunately, leaves out the most important part of the equation. It's like building a brick house and having a massive pile of bricks, calcium, delivered to the construction site, but with no mortar or bricklayer to put them in place. The bricks will just sit there, useless, while the structure remains weak. In your body, the indispensable bricklayer is vitamin D. Without it, the vast majority of the calcium you consume passes right through your system, never making it to your skeleton where it's so desperately needed. This is the story I want to share with you today, a story of partnership, of synergy, and of how understanding the simple, powerful relationship between vitamin D and calcium can revolutionize your mobility, your confidence, and your ability to enjoy your golden years without the looming fear of a fall. We will explore not just what this dynamic duo is, but precisely how to put them to work for you, transforming your legs into the strong, reliable foundation they were meant to be. Let's start by addressing the foundation of the issue. For decades, the public health message has been hammered home. Got milk? This slogan, and countless others like it, successfully ingrained in us the idea that a high calcium intake was the primary strategy for fending off osteoporosis and the debilitating fractures that can accompany it. Many of my patients come to me, proud of their daily yogurt, their fortified orange juice, and their cheese snacks, believing they have their bone health completely covered. The problem is, this approach is like trying to drive a car with a full tank of gas, but no key in the ignition. It's simply not enough. The statistics are tragically clear. According to the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, more than 1 in 4 Americans aged 65 and older falls each year. These aren't just minor tumbles. Falls are the leading cause of fatal and non-fatal injuries among older adults, resulting in over 3 million emergency department visits annually. A staggering number of these falls lead to hip fractures, an injury from which many never fully recover their previous level of mobility. If everyone is so focused on calcium, why are our seniors still falling at such an alarming rate? The importance of this issue cannot be overstated. A fall is not just a physical event. It's a profound psychological one. It steals confidence. Suddenly, a simple walk to the mailbox, a trip to the grocery store in Des Moines, or playing with your grandchildren in the backyard in Phoenix becomes a source of anxiety. This fear of falling can lead to a vicious cycle. You move less to avoid a fall, but this inactivity leads to weaker muscles and poorer balance, which in turn increases your risk of falling. It's a downward spiral that can rob you of your independence and joy. The conventional wisdom said, just get your 1-200 milligrams of calcium. But this advice fails to recognize a critical physiological change that happens as we age. Our skin becomes less efficient at producing vitamin D from sunlight, and our kidneys are less able to convert it into its active form. This means that even if your calcium intake is perfect, your body's ability to use that calcium is severely compromised. So, what is the solution? It begins with shifting our mindset from calcium to calcium and its partner. The first concrete action is to understand your true vitamin D needs and how to meet them. For adults over the age of 70, the National Institutes of Health recommends at least 800 international units, IU, of vitamin D daily, though many experts, myself included, often suggest that 1,000 to 2,000 IU can be more beneficial, especially for those with limited sun exposure. Getting this from food alone is challenging. While fatty fish like salmon and mackerel, as well as fortified milk and cereals, are good sources, it's difficult to consume enough consistently. This is where strategic supplementation and safe sun exposure come in. A simple blood test from your doctor can reveal your vitamin D level, providing a clear target. For sun exposure, it doesn't take much. Depending on your skin type and location, say a sunny afternoon in San Diego versus a cloudy morning in Chicago, just 10 to 15 minutes of midday sun on your arms and legs a few times a week can significantly boost your body's production. Think of a patient of mine, a wonderful 72-year-old gentleman from Florida named Robert. He was an avid gardener, but had suffered 2 falls in 1 year. He was eating plenty of dairy, but his blood work showed a significant vitamin D deficiency. We started him on a daily supplement of 2,000 IU of vitamin D3. Within 6 months, combined with the other strategies we'll discuss, he reported feeling immensely more stable on his feet. He told me, "Doc, I feel like my legs are finally planted on the ground again." It wasn't that the calcium wasn't there before, it was that his body finally had the key to use it. If you are finding this information helpful so far, please leave a 1 in the comments below. If not, a 0 would help me understand how to improve for the future. Now that we've established that calcium needs its essential partner, vitamin D, let's dig deeper into the second piece of this puzzle, the quality and timing of your nutrition and the crucial role of another often overlooked mineral. The old way of thinking was purely quantitative, just hit a target number of milligrams of calcium. This led people to chug glass after glass of milk or pop chalky supplements without a second thought, assuming that more was always better and that all sources were created equal. This approach, however, overlooks the nuanced way our bodies absorb nutrients. You can consume the perfect amount of calcium and vitamin D, but if your body can't absorb it efficiently or if another key player is missing, you're still not getting the full benefit. It's like sending a perfectly written letter but forgetting the postage stamp. It's not going to reach its destination. This is critically important because inefficient absorption means your bones are being shortchanged day after day. This quiet, invisible process of bone loss or osteoporosis can progress for years without symptoms. You feel fine, you're active, and then one day, a misstep off a curb or a simple trip over a rug results in a broken bone. Your leg bones, the femur and tibia, are the largest and strongest in your body, designed to support your full weight. When they become porous and brittle, they lose their resilience. This structural weakness, combined with age-related muscle loss, sarcopenia, creates a perfect storm for fractures. The strength of your legs isn't just about the muscles, it's profoundly dependent on the integrity of the bones they are anchored to. Strong muscles attached to a brittle frame is a recipe for disaster. We must ensure the nutrients we consume are actually being put to work to fortify that internal frame. The solution here is a 3-pronged approach focusing on smart nutrition, absorption, cofactors, and timing. First, let's talk about absorption. To maximize the calcium your body takes in, it's best to consume it in smaller doses throughout the day. Your body can only absorb about 500 milligrams of calcium at a time. So instead of taking a 200 milligram supplement all at once, you'd be far better off getting 400 milligrams from a Greek yogurt at breakfast, another 400 milligrams from a fortified almond milk smoothie at lunch, and a final 400 milligrams from a dinner that includes steamed broccoli and canned salmon with the bones. When it comes to supplements, calcium citrate is often a better choice for older adults as it can be absorbed on an empty stomach and is less likely to cause constipation than calcium carbonate. Second, let's introduce the other mineral I mentioned, magnesium. Think of magnesium as the traffic cop for calcium. It helps direct calcium to your bones and keeps it from being deposited in soft tissues, like your arteries or kidneys, where it can cause problems. Many older Americans are deficient in magnesium. Excellent food sources include almonds, spinach, black beans, avocados, and dark chocolate. Ensuring you have adequate magnesium intake, the recommended daily amount is around 320 milligrams for women and 420 milligrams for men over 51, is a game changer for bone metabolism. Finally, consider the synergy with vitamin K2. While vitamin D helps you absorb calcium from your gut into your bloodstream, vitamin K2 helps move that calcium from your blood into your bones. It activates proteins that are essential for bone mineralization. You can find vitamin K2 in fermented foods like natto, an acquired taste, I admit, certain cheeses like Gouda and Brie, and grass-fed butter and egg yolks. For many, a supplement combining vitamin D3 and K2 can be a convenient and effective strategy. Imagine a woman I counseled, a 68-year-old retired teacher from Austin, Texas, named Carol. She was doing everything right, taking a big calcium pill every morning, but she complained of leg cramps and a general feeling of unsteadiness. We revised her plan completely. We split her calcium into food-based sources throughout the day, added a magnesium supplement in the evening, and switched her to a combined D3K2 supplement. 3 months later, her leg cramps were gone, and she reported feeling more solid when walking her dog along the trails at Zilker Park. She was getting the same amount of calcium, but now her body was finally using it correctly. I hope this detailed look into the how of nutrition is proving valuable. If it is, please let me know by typing a 1 below. If you feel it's too complex or not what you were looking for, a 0 will give me good feedback. We've now built a strong nutritional foundation with vitamin D, calcium, and their essential cofactors. But all the best building materials in the world are of little use if the structure isn't being used and maintained. This brings us to our third and final point, which challenges another long-held passive approach to bone health. The old thinking was that bone health was almost entirely a chemical game, a matter of inputs and outputs of minerals. People assumed that as long as they took their supplements, they could continue with a sedentary lifestyle, and their bones would magically stay strong. This could not be further from the truth. Your body is an incredibly efficient, but also ruthlessly practical machine. It operates on a use it or lose it principle, and this applies just as much to your bones as it does to your muscles. The danger of this passive mindset is profound. Without the right kind of physical stimulation, your bones do not get the signal to uptake the calcium and minerals you are so carefully consuming. The cells responsible for building new bone, called osteoblasts, become lazy. Meanwhile, the cells that break down old bone, osteoclasts, continue their work. The net result is a gradual thinning of your bones, even with a perfect diet. More immediately, a lack of targeted exercise leads to a direct loss of muscle mass, balance, and coordination in your legs. It is this combination, weaker bones and weaker, less coordinated muscles, that dramatically elevates your risk of a fall. You can have the strongest bones in the world, but if your muscles can't hold you upright or catch you when you stumble, you are still going to fall. Your leg strength is a dynamic interplay between your skeletal structure and the muscular system that supports and moves it. Neglecting the latter half of that equation is a critical error. The solution is to embrace specific, targeted exercises that build not just muscle, but bone density itself. You need to send a clear message to your body that your legs are essential and need to be strong. This message is delivered through weight-bearing and resistance exercises. Weight-bearing, it simply means any activity you do on your feet where your bones and muscles are working against gravity. This doesn't have to mean running a marathon. Brisk walking, climbing stairs, dancing, or even just gardening are all excellent forms of weight-bearing exercise. Think about a local walking club at a community center like the one I know in Boulder, Colorado, where seniors meet 3 times a week to walk the beautiful trails. The social aspect makes it enjoyable, and the activity itself is a powerful signal to their bones to stay strong. Beyond that, resistance training is key for building the muscle that protects those bones. You don't need a fancy gym membership. Simple exercises at home can be incredibly effective. For example, the sit to stand is a perfect exercise. Sit in a sturdy, armless chair. Without using your hands, stand up and then slowly sit back down. Aim for a set of 8 to 12 repetitions. This directly strengthens your quadriceps, hamstrings, and glutes, the powerhouse muscles of your legs. Another fantastic exercise is the heel raise. Stand behind a sturdy chair, holding on for balance. Slowly rise up onto your toes, hold for a moment, and then slowly lower your heels back down. This builds strength in your calf muscles, which are vital for balance and pushing off when you walk. Finally, practice your balance. Try standing on one foot while holding onto a counter, aiming for 30 seconds on each side. As you get more confident, you can try it with your eyes closed or without holding on. A patient of mine, a 78-year-old woman named Eleanor from Minneapolis, was terrified of the icy winter sidewalks. We created a simple at-home routine for her. 15 minutes a day of sit-to-stands, heel raises, and balance practice. By the time winter arrived, she told me she felt like she had a new pair of legs. Her newfound strength and stability gave her the confidence to navigate the season safely and continue her daily walks. This is the power of putting your nutrition into action. This is our final key point today. Is this practical, actionable advice helpful for you? Please let me know one last time with a 1 for yes or a 0 for no in the comments. Your feedback is truly invaluable. As we draw our conversation to a close, let's take a moment to recap the essential truths we've uncovered today. The strength and stability of your legs, your very foundation for an independent life, rests on a partnership. First, we shattered the myth that calcium works alone, revealing vitamin D as its indispensable partner, the key that unlocks calcium's bone-building power. Second, we learned that it's not just what you consume, but how. We need to focus on smart absorption by spacing out our calcium intake, and we must include the crucial cofactors of magnesium and vitamin K2 to ensure those nutrients get to where they're needed most. Third, we recognize that nutrition without action is incomplete. Targeted weight-bearing and resistance exercises are the non-negotiable signals that tell your body to build and maintain strong bones and supportive muscles. Fourth, we understood that the goal of all this is not just to prevent fractures, but to cast out the fear of falling, a fear that can silently shrink your world. And finally, the fifth and most important point is that you are in control. You have the power to take these simple, science-backed strategies and build a stronger, more stable future for yourself. My final advice to you is this. View your health not as a passive state, but as an active creation. You are the architect of your own well-being. The knowledge you've gained today is the blueprint. The healthy foods are your materials, and the exercises are your tools. Start small. Perhaps this week you'll talk to your doctor about getting your vitamin D levels checked and begin a modest supplement. Maybe you'll add a handful of almonds to your afternoon snack for that magnesium boost. Or perhaps you'll simply commit to doing 5 sit-to-stands every time you get up from your favorite chair. These small, consistent actions, compounded over time, are what build a life of resilient vitality. Do not let another day pass under the shadow of old, incomplete advice. Embrace this holistic approach and feel the profound difference it makes when your legs feel truly strong and steady beneath you. Here is a final life lesson I'd like to leave you with. The quality of our later years is determined not by the things we stop doing, but by the things we intelligently start doing. Aging is not about limitations. It's about adaptation and optimization. Your journey to stronger legs is a perfect metaphor for this. It's about replacing old habits with new wisdom and taking proactive steps to live your life on your own terms, with strength and with confidence. I urge you to take the first step today. Please share your own stories or questions in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. What is one small change you plan to make this week? Your journey can inspire someone else. If you found this information valuable, please share it with your friends, your family, and anyone you care about who deserves to walk through life with strength and confidence. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more insights on how to make your senior years your best years. Thank you for your time and your trust. Be well and be strong.